Let's talk about what untouchable actually means. It's not arrogance. It's not dominance. It's not being the loudest or the most impressive person in the room. Being untouchable is about emotional independence. It's the ability to walk into any social situation and know that your sense of worth isn't up for negotiation. Approval becomes optional. Rejection loses its sting. You're steady, grounded, and self-directed, and that energy is immediately felt by others, whether they understand it consciously or not. The foundation of being untouchable is self-validation. Most people unconsciously outsource their confidence to reactions, laughs, compliments, attention, agreement. When those disappear, so does their composure. Untouchable people reverse that equation. They decide how they feel about themselves before anyone else gets a vote. That doesn't mean ignoring feedback. It means feedback doesn't define you. When you approve of yourself first, everything else becomes information, not judgment. Next is emotional control, not emotional suppression. You still feel nerves, irritation, excitement, or disappointment, but you're not ruled by them. You don't rush to fill silence because you're uncomfortable. You don't over-explain because you're afraid of being misunderstood. You don't react impulsively just to protect your ego. You pause. You choose. That pause is power. People sense when you're not scrambling emotionally, and they instinctively treat you with more respect. A major part of staying untouchable is letting go of the need to be liked by everyone. The moment you try to be universally likable, you become manipulable. Your tone shifts, your opinions soften, your boundaries blur. Untouchable people accept that friction is inevitable. Some people won't like you, and that's fine. In fact, it's often a sign you're being authentic. When you're okay with disapproval, you stop performing and start showing up as yourself. Silence is one of your strongest tools. Most people are terrified of it, so they talk too much, explain too much, and reveal too much. Untouchable people are comfortable with silence. They don't rush to respond just to prove they belong. They listen fully. They speak deliberately. When you don't fight for airtime, your words carry more weight. Silence signals confidence, self-trust, and emotional stability, all of which subtly shift the power dynamic in your favor. Another key is detachment from outcomes. This doesn't mean you don't care. It means you're not attached to controlling how things turn out. You don't need a specific reaction to feel okay. Whether someone agrees with you, laughs at your joke, or invites you back doesn't determine your internal state. This detachment creates a calm, grounded presence that others find magnetic. Ironically, when you stop chasing outcomes, better outcomes tend to follow. Boundaries are non-negotiable. Untouchable people don't over-justify their limits. They don't apologize for having standards. They say no without guilt and yes without resentment. Their boundaries are clear, calm, and consistent. When someone crosses a line, they address it directly or disengage without drama. This teaches people how to treat you. You don't need to be aggressive. Firmness paired with composure is far more effective. Your body language does as much talking as your words. Untouchable presence shows up in relaxed posture, steady eye contact, and unhurried movements. There's no fidgeting to burn off anxiety, no nervous laughter to smooth tension. You take up space comfortably. You move like you belong where you are. This isn't about trying to look confident. It's about not trying to look like anything at all. Naturalness is the signal. You also stop competing. Comparison is a trap that keeps people reactive and insecure. Untouchable people don't measure themselves against others in the room. Someone can be smarter, louder, more attractive, or more accomplished, and it doesn't threaten them. There's no need to one-up, interrupt, or prove superiority. When you're not competing, you become unpredictable in the best way, because you're not playing the same game as everyone else. One of the most underrated traits of being untouchable is emotional generosity. You don't withhold warmth to appear powerful. You're kind without being needy. You give compliments without expecting them back. You can be present for others without losing yourself. Because your sense of worth is internal, you can afford to be open. This combination of warmth and independence is rare, and it disarms people instantly. Finally, understand that being untouchable is not a performance you switch on. It's a practice you build. It comes from repeated moments of choosing self-respect over approval, calm over reaction, and authenticity over strategy. Over time, those choices compound into presence. You stop trying to manage impressions, and people feel it. When you're untouchable, social situations stop feeling like tests and start feeling like conversations. And that's when you realize the real power was never about control over others, but control over yourself.